Hey Reddit community, I hope this post finds you all well. I'm somewhat of a newcomer here, but I feel compelled to share my story and hopefully gain some perspective from your collective wisdom. I'm in a bit of a predicament, to say the least. You see, I'm 32M, and I've been in a relationship with an amazing woman 30F for the past 3 years. She's my rock, my confidant, and honestly, the love of my life. We've been through so much together, and I can't imagine my future without her. But here's the thing, I messed up. Big time. About 6 months ago, during a rough patch in our relationship, I made a stupid, impulsive decision. I cheated on her. It was a mistake, a moment of weakness fueled by insecurities and misplaced desires. I regretted it the moment it happened, but the guilt has been eating away at me ever since. Now, before you judge me too harshly, let me explain. I never intended to hurt her. I never intended for our relationship to be tarnished by my actions. In fact, I've been trying my hardest to be the best partner I can be ever since that moment of weakness. But here's the kicker, I haven't told her, and I don't know if I should. You see, I love her more than anything, and I can't bear the thought of losing her. I know that if I confess, she'd be devastated. She'd probably leave me, and I don't blame her. I deserve it. But I also know that she's the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. I want to marry her, build a future together, and make things right. I'm torn, Reddit. I don't know what to do. On one hand, I feel like she deserves to know the truth. She deserves honesty and transparency in our relationship. But on the other hand, I don't want to risk losing her forever. I'm scared, I'm ashamed, and I'm lost. I've been grappling with this decision for weeks now, and it's eating me alive. Every time I look into her eyes, I'm reminded of the betrayal lurking beneath the surface. Every time she tells me she loves me, I feel like a fraud. So, here I am, pouring my heart out to a bunch of strangers on the internet. Maybe it's cowardly, maybe it's desperate, but I don't know where else to turn. I need advice, guidance, anything that can help me navigate this mess I've created. Thanks for listening, Reddit. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. Sincerely, Lost and Conflicted. Update 1. Hey Reddit, I wanted to give you all an update on my situation. After much soul-searching and agonizing over the decision, I finally mustered up the courage to come clean to my girlfriend about my infidelity. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I knew it was the right thing. I sat her down one evening, my heart pounding in my chest, and I poured out my soul to her. I told her everything, the affair, the guilt, the regret. I didn't try to justify my actions or make excuses. I owned up to my mistake and begged for her forgiveness. To say she was devastated would be an understatement. She cried, she screamed, she asked me how I could do such a thing to her. And I had no answer. All I could do was hold her, let her vent her anger and hurt, and pray that she would find it in her heart to forgive me. After what felt like an eternity, she finally calmed down. She looked me in the eyes, tears still glistening, and told me she needed time to process everything. She said she didn't know if she could ever trust me again, but she was willing to try. For the next few days, we barely spoke. The tension between us was palpable, and I felt like I was walking on eggshells around her. But slowly, ever so slowly, she started to thaw. We talked, we cried, we argued, but through it all, we clung to each other like lifelines in a stormy sea. And then, one day, she surprised me. She sat me down and told me that she had made a decision. She said she still loved me, despite everything, and she wanted to give our relationship another chance, but there was a condition. She said she couldn't just let my betrayal go unpunished. She wanted to even the score, to restore the balance in our relationship. And her idea of balance was unconventional, to say the least. She told me that she wanted to cheat on me, just once, with someone she chose, someone she trusted. She said it wasn't about revenge or retaliation, but about reclaiming her power, her agency. She wanted to prove to herself that she was still desirable, still worthy of love and affection. I was stunned, to say the least. I felt a surge of jealousy and insecurity, a fear of losing her all over again. But at the same time, I understood where she was coming from. I had shattered her trust, her sense of security, and she needed to rebuild it in her own way. After much deliberation, I agreed to her terms. I trusted her, I loved her, and I was willing to do whatever it took to make things right. We set some ground rules, established boundaries, and promised to be honest with each other every step of the way. So, that's where we're at now, Reddit. We're still navigating this rocky road of forgiveness and reconciliation, but we're doing it together, as a team. We're learning to communicate better, to be more vulnerable with each other, and to never take each other for granted again. I don't know what the future holds for us, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that we can overcome this obstacle, emerge stronger and more resilient than ever before. And I'm grateful, so grateful, to have her by my side every step of the way. Thanks for listening, Reddit. Your support means the world to me. Sincerely, humbled and grateful. Update 2. Hey Reddit, I never thought I'd be back here so soon with another update, but life has a funny way of throwing curveballs when you least expect it. So, remember how I told you all that my girlfriend wanted to even the score by cheating on me? Well, let's just say things didn't exactly go according to plan. At first, I was a mess of emotions of jealousy, insecurity, fear. I couldn't shake the image of her with another man out of my mind, and it ate away at me day and night. But I kept telling myself that I had agreed to this, that I had to trust her, that it was all part of the healing process. But then, it happened. She went through with it. She slept with someone else, and I was devastated. I thought I was prepared for it, mentally and emotionally, but nothing could have prepared me for the reality of it. The pain, the betrayal, the sheer gut-wrenching agony of knowing that the person I loved, the person I trusted, had been with someone else. But here's the kicker, she regretted it, immediately. She came home that night, tears streaming down her face, and she told me everything. She said it was a mistake, a terrible mistake, and that she felt disgusted with herself. She said she couldn't believe she had done something so reckless, so hurtful, and that she wished she could take it all back. And in that moment, I saw the pain in her eyes, the remorse, the self-loathing. And I realized something. We were both broken, both hurting, both searching for something to numb the pain. But instead of finding solace in each other's arms, we had only deepened the wounds, widened the rift between us. We had tried to fix something broken with more brokenness, and it had only made things worse. And so, we talked, we cried, we held each other close, clinging to the shattered remnants of our relationship, desperately trying to piece them back together. But the truth is, some wounds never fully heal, some mistakes can't be undone. And some relationships are irreparably damaged by the weight of their own flaws. I don't know what the future holds for us, Reddit. I wish I could tell you that we'll emerge from this stronger, wiser, more resilient than ever before. But the truth is, I don't know if we'll ever fully recover from this. All I know is that we're both hurting, both struggling to make sense of the mess we've created. And for now, that's enough. Thanks for listening, Reddit. I appreciate your support more than you'll ever know. Sincerely, Lost and Confused.